Loot Bet, made for live betting.
Don't know how to build a team from scratch or find good teammates? DreamTeam.gg, the ultimate team building platform. Find and connect with new players, coaches and teams. Manage and monetize your team. Get on fast track to advance from novice to amateur and, if desired, to professional gamer. Join DreamTeam.gg today.
It's the quick scope! This is unreal! Anything is possible! Anything is possible! Ustillo is a monster, Tom!
Welcome back. We do have that second map for you guys here on Inferno, up between VP and AGO. VP losing the game after taking a considerable lead on Train, and that's a bit difficult now going into that second map.
Yeah, you kind of botch your own map in a pretty spectacular fashion in that sense, and you do it in a pretty heart crushing way. I mean, just constantly getting dominated by Snatchy over and over again, and the fact that HGO were never really pressured into a situation where they had to do something different. It was just the same thing over and over again, battering that A yard, and that has to feel, well, really awkward for VP, because at that point it means that you're not doing enough to actually put any pressure on your opponent. They're not necessarily giving you the respect that you might feel that you deserve at points. And the only reason you make it to OT is because Snacks bailed you out a couple of times. So that's not a real confidence booster going into a map that you're not necessarily favored in, and you can see pretty iffy a couple of last results for HGO there on Inferno, but over the I guess overall a better map I'd say than for VP.
Yeah, right. 50% win rate in 24 games. It's like AGO have played a hell of a lot of this map, but of course, this is a team that plays a load of online qualifiers plus league. Yeah. So kind of what you expect when it comes down to more games, but it does give them more experience and more, recent experience, I guess you could say, to play off the back of. That being said, I think mentality coming into this game will be a big one for VP in terms of being pretty tilted or crashed after that first.
Yeah, I walked past. I'll leave his name out. A VP player. Yeah. On my way downstairs, and I don't speak Polish, but I do speak angry. And I heard basically yelling and
not the happiest.
No, yeah, like a bit of yelling to Coach Cuban. And hearing a lot of Molotovs over and over again. So something's wrong with Molotovs, like whether or not HGO are using them too well or VP are not using them well enough. I don't know, but yeah, no, definitely not happy about how that first map panned out.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very hard to pull it back after that one. But to be honest, it's such a shame because VP came into the game, and to have such a sick lead and throw it away shows that VP definitely still have the ability to win this series, right? You don't go 14-6 if you're a bad team.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
You're still a good team. You just don't have that ability to close out the game, which is the hard part.
Yeah, no, it's kind of weird because they had the ability to potentially put away HGO without too much problems or any issues at all, really. To also showcasing that they can also lose to HGO without too much trouble as well if they, presented the opportunity. So they're just this weird team that could never really get a good grasp of, but they don't seem too flustered as of right now.
One thing I'm pretty happy about, though, is we've already had a lot of overtimes today. So maybe we have a hint that we're going to have some close series across the next few days of this event. Already, the Tyloo-Na'Vi first map, which I'm not sure if you realized, Tyloo have taken the first map versus Na'Vi.
Really?
Yes, in
what
overtime.
Map was that?
I actually don't know. I just walked into the green room and saw second map.
I saw them were up. I said they were up 4-1.
I will check.
As I walked back.
They're on the second map now, but one of our SK games went to OT. That game went to OT. Na'Vi Tyloo apparently went to OT. It was 1916 to Tyloo on Mirage. Good map for Na'Vi.
Wow, that's impressive.
Their map pick, though. Now we're on Overpass, Na'Vi's choice. So, we'll keep our eyes on that. Keep you guys updated. Tyloo currently 6-1 up on the second map. So
we've got some good games coming up as well.
Yeah.
Like obviously, Gambit Avant-Garde probably not the game that will scream out to a lot of people that this is like a really solid map solid game to watch. But first off, it's domestic derby.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy to think about when you're talking about a Kazakhstani team, because usually it used to be just Adren.
Yeah.
And that was it. That was Kazakhstan. Now they've got a bunch of extremely solid players, like really, really good players. And Gambit obviously bringing in Mir. That's super fun to watch how it plans out. And also the fact that Avant-Garde beat them in a best of 3 last time they played. So, the young kids are taking up... chase for the throne of being the best in the country, similar to what we're seeing here with AGO and VP.
Yeah, already off to a good start for the, I don't even want to say underdogs, because AGO are certainly not underdogs in this game, given their history and their recent performance as well. So, yeah, I really like the domestic matchups when you have like one... it's the same. It's kind of the same story, right? In VP, you have like a bunch of old players, very experienced, have been around for years, and then you have definitely uprising talent in the form of AGO. I think it's the same story when you move over to that of Avant-Garde, right? You have this old talent like a Dren, for example, and of course there are younger players like Hobbit on the roster and whatever.
Still,
But then you look over at Avant-Garde and you have players like Kicker who are 18 years old and absolutely insane.
Absolutely, like they have a ton of talent on that side, and I love seeing that, especially when it comes to from a region that's not necessarily, let's put it this way, not overexposed to success in Counter-Strike. On average. Obviously, you have the outliers. Obviously, you have the Gambit team that you mentioned and the players on that side. But it's just so cool because in many ways they come out of nowhere. It feels like obviously for the players from the region and from those communities, they've known about them for years. They've seen the gradual rise and whatnot. But for the casual viewer at home who tunes into tournaments, all of a sudden sees this new team that's qualified through an online qualifier, that could be a bit iffy in itself. Like, it's online, what does it matter? And then they actually pull out a big performance on land. That's so much fun. Well,
I read an interview as well, right before or right as Avant-Garde did well in the major and were able to make it through the system. I can't remember who it was, but I'm pretty sure it was someone from Gambit giving an interview, one of the Kazakh players, saying, "I actually didn't know about this team until this event. I didn't even see them make this rise so fast. They just came out of absolutely nowhere." Yeah,
because when you thought about previously, like who was the second best team in Kazakhstan, it would have been Tengri.
Yeah, Tengri, right?
Yeah, Fitch, Keen, obviously those guys.
Yeah.
Hobbit, obviously, at one point.
Yeah.
So that would have been the natural go-to. Now you just add a completely new team to that. So you've got a pretty solid player base there in Kazakhstan doing well for themselves.
There's still so many more players that aren't in these two top-tier teams or two top Kazakh teams that are still talented. As you mentioned, like Ramzik and Fitch. And then I'd say like Hippo's maybe a bit more of an upcomer as well. You got a lot of talent there. So definitely a country that I'm sure will be continuing to develop in the Counter-Strike scene. And we'll have a lot more teams out in the future.
You have to imagine as well, this is where the cool part about the old heads, I guess, even though they're not really that old, are they? But I guess the more experienced guys from these regions, like an Adren, for instance, or a Mo or Hobbit, the fact that they've won a major, what kind of inspiration that must be to someone who comes from, I guess, a country that doesn't necessarily are known for CSO. They very unlikely of getting invites to tournaments, or they have to grind their way up. But the fact that they can see that it's a possibility, where you come from doesn't really matter at all. It's just a matter of skill.
Yeah, especially when if you look at Kazakhstan, it's like if you're on the east of my Kazakhstan geography is whatever, but if you're on the east of Kazakhstan, right, you're going to have trouble in terms of connections to European servers, I'm sure, right?
You're probably more likely to play in
Asian events,
Southeast Asia.
Winter, great example there. Kazakh player
Kazakhstan.
I think he's living in Oh, I'm going to get that wrong. So he's living in
Asia.
In Asia. Well, I mean, Kazakhstan's in Asia.
He's playing with Boot, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's Indonesia, right?
Yeah, I think he's living somewhere like that, Indonesia, Singapore, something like that. In university, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
So
cool.
That's somewhat related.
You do have a couple of players who go that route as well. Urkast, for instance.
Mongolian,
And
living in Australia.
I'm curious. Obviously, I think it's the not 5-power team, but name escapes me. But with Vadim, the player Chinese team
the
with
Russians,
with 2 Russian players on them as well.
Oh yeah, what's the name of that team? I completely forgot, but I know exactly who you mean. Yeah, that's
because they've had a couple of good results as well.
That always interests me when they pull over, like, because the Russians on that team are the best players on the team, but I've never actually heard of them outside of like those teams.
Yeah, no,
Like,
exactly.
I've never heard them in the Russian team, for example. Like, I don't see them in the minors system, for example.
Yeah.
I don't know, weird.
But that's a cool thing.
So
like,
much talent.
so many opportunities for talent to kind of rise through the ranks at this point and eventually make a name for yourself, which is the great thing about Counter-Strike. Like, just pops up talent everywhere. Everyone can play this game if they just put in the effort and time, really, and really commit themselves.
And AGO are a great example. A young team up against VP, the old dogs, and AGO are already a map up. And now we head into their map pick as well. So as if things couldn't get more difficult for Virtus.pro, they've really got to pull everything out here as we head into the 9th round. Pretty important on this map as well as Train, of course, that AGO did win.
And I'm still secretly kind of hoping that Virtus.pro manages to take this map so we can get to see Dust 2.
Yeah.
First off, but just because seeing Dust 2 and VP in the same sentence is a bit of an anomaly. But also because, they did have this 16-1 game right before coming into the map. And I think, I can't remember exactly what the stat line was, but it was like something of the lines of the first time VP had played Dust 2 in 580 games or something.
Yeah, it was 17 months.
17 months, yeah.
Yeah.
So something absolutely ridiculous, which is really cool.
I'm getting it open now so I can see what the scoreline was. I can't quite find where it was, but
it was a 16-1.
Oh, okay, no, it was online. It wasn't ACO. It was versus Heroic in the Cologne qualifier. It was a 16-1, yeah. And where was that? It was all T-side pretty much. 14 rounds T-side and then 2 rounds T-side. Pretty crazy stuff as well. Yeah, I want to have a look at the stats there. Mihu top fragging, but yeah, I mean, 16-1 doesn't really matter.
everybody
fragged. Either way, that's a whole map later, and we might not even get to see it here. Well, let's talk about Inferno a little bit. Let's talk about what we kind of expect to see in this game.
Well, I mean, just straight off the bat, I think it's fair to assume the position of HGO as favorites, really. Again, it's more down to the fact that, yeah, VP kind of have the same approach to it. They're fairly structured teams in that sense. They have a slow-paced, methodical style as to how they approach it. They're not very run-and-gunny, if you want to put it that way. But HGO just seemed to be less inconsistent. And then that's really the key factor for me. You saw how just rapidly VP kind of just degraded into not being able to do anything at all, not really coming up with any sort of good ideas as to how they wanted to stop the same thing that was happening from HGO over and over and over again. That's a big red light for me. Like HGO on their end, they were absolutely... Like, they didn't have to, I guess, get tested all that much in terms of, like, figuring out something new that would have to work, because VP just weren't capable of doing anything like that. And I think they can run into a similar wall on a map like Inferno.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But let's find out if VP are broke or if they do need fixing. We're heading into map number 2. VP, a lot of utility, a lot of Molotovs, or at least one that you were kind of alluding to.
That's a fair amount.
Yeah, one is a lot, right? Set up in the second middle as well. 4 players on the A site here for AGO, only a man back towards B. It's a very common setup for AGO on their CT pistols. They like to run the solo B, and a very passive solo B at that. Really risky, of course, because if Furlan can't get like 2 kills on the defense, and VP will take the site. And with all this utility, it does make me think the VP want to go for a late round B play.
I mean, you see, though, like, maybe not as much on Inferno, obviously, because of the challenges retaking both sides. Actually, it does, depending on your utility. But you do see some teams actually preferring to set up for retakes, especially when they have like Mirage and the A-bomb site, right?
Yeah.
So maybe if that's something AGO are comfortable with, then whatever floats your boat.
And considering they now have a man advantage as well, Snatchy drops Mihu in middle. That makes it easier. The pressure's kind of off Furlan here. He would definitely like a couple of kills, but even if he just falls back, he can take 1 or 2 shots and run back so VP don't take him down, and a 5-on-4 retake with a kit, you know, that's totally fine for AGO. It's going to be a long rotation, though. They're very committed towards the pit with 3 of the players here, so push coming in, damage done by USP, and Furlong finds a kill. That's perfect. Fall back, don't re-engage, and wait for VP to get the bomb down.
Yep. His job is done, pretty much. Now it's all about staying alive. Oh, well, okay.
That will certainly help. That will do it. Furlan drops Neo, and now the retake's on. Pasha has a very aggressive position, but unless Snacks take some attention away from the CT spawn, they will surely check this spot. The CT's open, they should have a look, and there it is, Tower run and gun. The drive-by comes in, it's just Snacks left up. 1 kill already found on the USP, and now he needs a few more. They're already on the bomb, they're already sticking it, and he's got to dive in through. And they get off, but it doesn't seem to matter. Groovy will finish off the round. And look for a second like Snacks may have been able to stop the defuse there.
Yeah, it could have been a bit chaotic. If Groovy goes down, he's obviously the only one with the kit. Somebody tries to tap the bomb, but isn't on the kit or something, doesn't manage to pick it up, start panicking, fumbling around after Groovy's kit and so on. That could have ended up with a VP round. But it doesn't go that way. The 2 opening frags from both Snatchy and Furlan does the majority of the job. And Furlan obviously finding Neo through the smoke right after planning is just happy accident that I'll allow for to happen any day of the week.
Look at this buy though from VP. They force up, bomb down, and they still buy pistols, but look at the utility that comes with it.
I'm really curious to see what they're going to do with this. If they're going to set it for like an apps kind of thing, they might go the approach of what Bolts tends to do for SK, well, which is a one-way, but no, they're just going to hold on to most of their utility and actually run out.
Oh, and run through the smoke, Snatchy will. On the back lines, they just don't react. No communication there for VP, clearly. He can get 2 without any threat. And AGO, they find 2 with only 1 casualty.
That was a lot of utility bought up for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah, you shouldn't be saving that for the post-plant when you only have pistols. Like, the chance of you actually getting the bomb down anyway without using your nades is pretty low.
Exactly. You want to increase your chance of actually getting something in return for your investment. I was expecting them to do a similar smoke. The one-way smoke, it's not necessarily one-way, but like the smoke that Bolts throws on top of Terrace that has a bit of a gap on the inside so you can walk out past Terrace and basically isolate the guy who's in pit without being in danger from sight, and that way you can funnel out quite a few players and actually being able to gain some sort of map control over the site.
Optic have actually been doing a really nice execute that I've seen a couple of times. I saw it in not New York, Dallas, and in the Clone qualifiers, where they throw these nice smokes on the cart and then also to section off pit, and they go for an apps burst with 2 players. The 2 players go, or 1 player actually, it's usually don't know who it is, whatever. They take pit control, they kill the pit player, and then they just sit in pit and wait for the smokes to fade. And as soon as those smokes fade, then the other players start to wrap the site and push up short. And because there's no one in pit, there's no crossfire, so you usually have 1, 2 players on the site. And yeah, okay, the rotates to come in by that point, but because they've got the pit control, it's so easy to kill the player on the site because there's nowhere they can peek short without being exposed to pit.
Exactly. This is a really, really solid way of going about it. And well, HGO, they did a solid job of handling those ecos, at least Snatchy did. Picking up 4 kills in that last round, and now it's buy time. Snatchy was so impactful with his op on train, finding openings left and right. It's going to see if he can have the same kind of success on Inferno, and yes is the answer. Neo gets dropped.
Oh, that's so awkward as well, because Mihu passed by him, and even though they don't know it, it's because Mihu passed by that Neo thought mid was clear, so he ran into the AWP of Snatchy.
Oh, yeah. Is he going for the BDP?
Back turned.
He definitely is, but
Oscar style.
There is a second rotation coming in from B as well, but it's not going to come through.
They're going to realise, there we go, Tao finally finds it. It took their time though. AGO may be scared of this B wrap as well because they send Tao back towards the B site.
Look at Snatchy. Snatchy's all the way up in
I don't know
CBL. Yeah, like,
this
is
round makes
all over
no
the place.
sense.
Yeah, this is the Groovy's probably not going to be expecting anyone to be this close up.
And the thing is, Snatchy can actually hear these footsteps up mid as well, so he can spot Pasha, but he misses the shot. Now the push to the A site, and the bomb drop. Groovy with 2, and that's pretty much the round guaranteed, unless Pasha has a huge hero play here. Shot missed again from Snatchy, he pulls out the pistol, and somehow survives.
Somehow, some way. That was very well done by Groovy as well. I think it would have been fair for him to not expect anyone to be that close up, considering Snatchy's just kind of walked around the entirety of mid, went up into CPL, just fumbled around. But still, manages to get through it.
They've even animated the shadow of the logo on top of the building there.
Damn. Eye for details.
Wow.
Eye for details is definitely something VP needs to get on with or get going. If they need to break the, or if they're gonna break the defensive HGO.
Eye for rounds, really.
Yeah. That's a start. Flash coming over to clear out the top side of Banana. Can get safely in. They've avoided any sort of nade damage, at least initially, but...
I like this setup from AGO. The reason being is they know VP won't actually have smokes on this round, so if they go to B, this really passive CT player of Tao can actually still get kills. VP have only flashbangs here, and these flashbangs won't really blind Tao in this position. So AGO's setup on the B site is actually really nice. They give away the site, but that's fine. You can give away a site and just go for the retake.
Yeah, I mean, you know VP are going to be able to buy in the next round regardless, so it doesn't matter if they get a bomb plant necessarily either way.
Look at it. That's awesome.
Handling it pretty well as well. It's not going to be a bomb plant for VP today. VP finds Furlan, but that's it. So yeah, overall very successful anti-eco rounds coming out of HGO.
Yeah, the reason that's so good is because if Tao plays onto the site, VP can easily overwhelm him with those like CZs and Deagles, just run onto the site and take him down. But because he's not only in a completely off position that two players didn't expect, that he shot in the back, right? But they can't overwhelm him because he's just so passive. He's so far away, and so they have to take a ranged fight, in which his AK is going to be perfect for.
Yeah. So, just talked about Snatchy having massive impact on Train. He's doing the same thing right now, 10-0 in the first 5 rounds, and he's probably not going to stop peeking aggressively and doing things to constantly annoy VP. And though on their side, they haven't opened the hints of Pasha. He's really good at opening frags on the T set of Train. He's going to have to do the same on Inferno. Significantly harder task, though, on this map.
Snatchy's ready enough giving away a pick here in mid. There it is. I like that. Snatchy peeks out fast. The reason that's so good is because the way Molotov smoke works is if you peek close to the Molotov, the smoke is less than if you peek far away. So even if he held that angle, chances are they wouldn't have been even able to be seeing him from the bottom and middle.
Or if you're me, you don't see anything regardless of what side you're on.
Oh, same. Yeah,
I have no idea how people spot people through those flames and that smoke.
Basically stand in the Molotov.
Yeah, no, I'll try that.
Yeah.
Going forward, but yeah, man advantage once again given to HGO off the back of Snatchy. And I like this. They know they have the man advantage. Stack up on site. Just force Virtus.pro to kind of commit towards a bomb site here.
And no utility, so they have to take gunfights at this point as well. So
yeah, they can set up for any like cheeky pop flash into crossfire kind of thing. Only issue is that rotations are a bit off, but you can see Furlan pushing aggressively in Banana. That's a pick.
It's a big pick. Look at the spray. PHR on the site tries to hold it down, but he can't fight back. Mihu, double headshot into it and bomb down on the site. He's stuck in between a crossfire between Tao and Furlan, so it's not a free round here, but we still have Bialy up on the boost, who does drop down. Furlan hears the noise as well. One on the site, one in the pit. That's the call here for AGO. Will they be able to hit the shots, though? Bialy, wide strafes out into the open, but the trade is back for Tao for the 1v1 in action. Both players low. Reload coming through. Mihu tries to force the fight, but he's unsuccessful. Reposition, and this should be it. There it is from Mihu. AWP saved, round saved. And there's VP on the board.
Yeah, finally, but it's pretty hard for around. I definitely think Furlan in that kind of scenario has a golden opportunity to pick off Bialy. And given the fact that, well, Tao has already done significant damage to Mihu on site, that could very well go the route of HGO. And obviously now the danger for Virtus.pro is the reset potential here. And 5 rounds in a row, that does give HGO a significant amount of money, so they can do a full rebuy. This could really be the beginning of the end, really, for Virtus.pro.
Yeah, this is not what you want to have 5-1 in as well, because with only one player surviving in the previous round, they have no money at all. AGO could easily get off to 7-0, 8-0 start, or sorry, 7-1, 8-1 start before VP even have rifles back in their hands.
And again, aggression in Banana.
Ooh, that's annoying.
VP hasn't necessarily tried to regain Banana control later on into the rounds unless they're fully committing. Ooh, bad flash. That's going to be an easy pick for Snatchy. He's going to go aggressive again. Oh.
Yeah, only works out so much. Mihu trades it back. So VP's still in control, considering there's no utility left up for AGO as well, although the same story for VP. Rotation coming in through the spawn is still Furlan holds alone towards the top of Banana. I think he's on top of the boost, but he does fall off. Groovy in the meantime drops a man up on short. So now VP, they've got to make the decision. It does look like an A-side attack with that smoke going deep inside of Library. Tao still has a really good angle to actually catch him off guard. He can late peek this one, and there it is, first kill. He even spots the Orb with a missed shot. He goes back for more, but Mihu follows up. 1 point of health should be an easy job for PHR to finish off, and now it's just Bialy in a 1v3. Spotted on short, 20 seconds left, bomb under the control of AGO. There is nothing going well for him here.
Oh, he's just going to have to save. That's a terrible feeling. Not only are you going to get reset, but he's going to get no cash from this as well, so... Sure, he holds on to an AK, but what are the odds of him being able to hold on to that until the next buy round from VP?
I mean, they've got to force this, right? At the end of the day, VP are going back to 1,400 loss bonus. They may as well buy.
Yeah, Mihu luckily has some cash saved up. So maybe you can get a little on him. CZ's on the rest of the guys.
I think he could maybe drop an AK over and just buy Kevlar and get given a pistol.
Yeah, give the AK to Snacks. Oh, it seems like he's going to buy like Kev for himself. Oh, well. Big round for Virtus.pro in that sense. Completely depleting all the resources. And HGO looking pretty as ever. Like I said, though, I guess their economy isn't in a pristine state, but Snatchy still has enough money to actually potentially buy up another op if they were to lose this round.
I mean, these are the 2 rounds that AGO now have to build up money, to get an economy in this state, because, yeah, okay, VP have a couple of rifles, but it should still be a fairly clean round for AGO, and then following up, VP will have a full eco before they actually come back in with rifles on round number 10, so... Yeah, this is their opportunity to build up some money, so eventually when VP get on this T side and win a round, AGO should be able to, again, reset.
Yeah. And not only that, like, VP are going to enter this territory that we saw Vici end up in versus SK on train. The fact that you're falling so far behind that, yeah, you can't necessarily afford to buy, but you have to buy.
Yeah.
Which is it's a really awful situation to find yourself in.
Self-perpetuating cycle.
Oh god, yeah, that's a dark circle.
Although again, the very passive B setup for AGO with only 1 player here and timing. What is this? Furlan's going to rotate to the CT spawn. They can just smoke that off. There's no one here on B for AGO. They're going to have to play for retake. I mean, it's okay because VP don't have great weaponry to hold off on the post plant, and they will kill 1 player up on A in the meantime, but this is still very dangerous for AGO. Mihu follows up, but Furlan quickly trades. That's 1 of the 2 rifles out of the count here for VP. Pasha trying to be pushing, but he's not going to win that duel, so Furlan climbing his way back into the site. At the back of the site, Bialy sits, but only 1 frag again, and it's a situation where VP need a multi-frag. They need 1 player to go and get 2-3 kills to win this round, and it's just not going to happen. It's too late. It's just Neo left, and he can only get 1 as well. So 3 players each get a kill for VP, but without multiple frags coming through, you're never going to win that round. The good thing is at least they get damage.
They get damage done, so yeah, you do put a little bit of a strain on the economy. I mean, HGO are not going to be able to get as much out of it as they would have liked. A bit of a fortunate circumstance where, because of Furlan's passive approach, Snatchy gets caught out by it and dies, but he was the one with the most money saved up in any case, so not the biggest deal in the world. And as you said, they're still going to have this round to really hunker down.
Bit of a B-rush here. At least we actually have players contesting the top of Banana instead of giving away the site. Flashes could be good, and they are, but do they check the corner? They run through the flames into the pain, and it's Tao with 4. That is a dominant round, I would say.
That's a fair assessment.
It's a moneymaker.
That's exactly what HGO were looking for as well. Now we see the buy coming in from VP. Like, sure, they do have utility. They don't have an op anymore, which I guess isn't the biggest detriment on T-side of Inferno. But they need to start winning some duels at this point. They're not getting a whole lot done for them. It's been pretty one-sided throughout the entire match so far. Seems like Kubin's scratching his head for answer.
Yeah, they are definitely going to need something here. VP can't allow, because again, we're at the spot right. They're at, well, not max loss bonus because they won around just 3 ago, but
yeah.
You know, even when they hit max loss bonus, it's at a spot where you can just buy eco until eventually you realize, like you said a minute ago about Vici, okay, we can't afford to eco. We need to buy or get bomb plants at the very least to facilitate that buy off of max loss bonus. So they've got a couple of opportunities left here in the half to get their claws into this one. Those big bare hands.
Starting to run out though.
Yeah.
It's a slippery salmon, HGO.
It's delicious as they look. They've come back with a bite.
Definitely have. Well, VP, let's see if they have anything special cooked up here after taking a timeout.
Oh, Snatchy not pre-aiming the close position. Didn't realize Mihu was worked up so far, and I like it. Quickly trying to take control towards the A site, but he won't be allowed to wrap. Groovy says no. So shut down back in response, and they actually give up Archway because Tower has rotated back into position. So 3 players on A and 1 on B.
Yeah, and the issue for me with this is the fact that it doesn't really net Virtus.pro all that much. Like, yeah, again, the golden rule is equal numbers, 4v4, 3v3. It's always going to favor the T side because of how thin you spread the defense. But HGO have been happy leaving Furlan alone on the B bomb side anyway, so it doesn't really weaken the defense for HGO all that much towards A.
Yeah, VP not even going to try and go back towards B towards B. Instead, they continue at the A site, but Pasha does find the pick. Again, traded. AGO keeping things in check numerous rounds, but with this kill now, they have to give up Archway. And yeah, VP know it. You're very unlikely to be putting a man up on Arch in this spot because you want to be able to lock down the apps and short together as a team. And while they do at least watch that wrap, Neo begins to push round, and there's the contact. Neo, great shot. PHR's dead. And now it's just Tower on the site alone in a 1v3. Does drop the bomb, so that should force a rotation. 20 seconds on the clock. He needs his teammate to come back in. He needs to stay alive, but he's being wrapped up from Neo. Still, I like the angle. He's not allowing Neo to get this pick because he's hiding behind the box, but eventually he'll make his way round. And Neo, a slow play, but it pays off. The Turtle getting onto the site. And there we go from Neo. 3 frags. That's a massive round.
That really is. That was looking very, very dire for VP for the longest of times. And again, like, I have to commend HGO for how well they've, like, I've seen Groovy and now PHR just doing really well. If, like, whenever the smokes come in from VP, they do such a good job of circumventing them by using the environment to either get on top of a pole or like on top of the bike, etc., to just negate the smokes that VP put down, and still being able to actually have a way of having an impact. They're never really like smoked out of a situation, which obviously makes the job a whole lot harder for VP. In that round, they'd get bailed out by Neo. But again, you mentioned this as well. Like, even if VP were able to claw back 1 round, they're still facing that reset potential.
Yeah, but on the flip side, if they can find 2 in a row, AGO's money isn't built up enough to facilitate another buy.
Yeah, no, it's already down the drain in that sense. So this is pretty much the big opportunity VP has in this first half to grab that and grab a couple of rounds to get back into it.
Yeah, they could get 4, 5 rounds on the T side, very minimum, but Tao doesn't want to allow that to go so well. Pasha does chase him down, and there's no utility at all left on this B site. Only 1 player, in fact. And Verlin, he's trying to lock it in. Pasha throws a very, very deep smoke, very deep, in fact, to give Snatchy an angle back into the site, and he can drop Pasha. Easy kill. The bomb's having rotated back up through mid as Mihu looks to commit to B. He should probably throw some utility down, but instead Snatchy peeks in, and Mihu is not quick enough on the trigger. 2 players left up for VP, and while they will sneak their way up short where AGO are unsuspecting, there's the contact made, and the repeat should come through, but PHR can only get 1.
I felt like PHR got like a solid 10 bullets into the side of that hay-wagon. Prevents him from doing more damage, but still an advantage for them. Bialik down to 78 HP, only has a flash to work with. It's not really in the greatest position to actually isolate any sort of duels, but it's going to move forward. Oh, when it gets caught out. Unfortunate timing for Bialik, but in that kind of a situation, that's the only hope he has, really, of finding something, unless he wants to commit to the pit area and then, again, just try to play off of angles, which can be pretty difficult. And then, again, if there's any sort of utility left on the side of HGO, they could smoke him out, and again, he's left with almost no room to work with.
Yeah, he's just got to hope at that point there's only 1 guy on Archway or rotating up from that position. Hope that they're splitting. Maybe 1 guy's coming late apps or up too short. And then if he forces a 1v1, he can just play that, on its own. Because if you wait in that situation and wait for the CTs to come to you, as you said, they're just going to group up, they're going to play together, they're going to smoke you out or whatever they want to do. You've got to be the initiator there if you're in that clutch. You've got to try and force the 1v1. And it was a nice attempt, but yeah, they both pushed up together.
It's not a whole lot else you could do in that kind of scenario. So, but that doesn't really help VP at all, and they go back to being reset. They have around 3K, or I guess in the range between 2.2 and 4K. They're going to spend a little bit of cash. A couple of flash grenades and a smoke in there on Bialy and P250s for the better part of it. That's really what they have to go into battle with. We mentioned it. The economy on HGO not necessarily stellar by any means. Is he fairly low across the board? Tau with 12.5.
I mean, even if you have a bad economy on the CT side, if you're winning nearly every round, it doesn't seem to matter, right? If you're keeping VP down, they are certainly down. Although that spray is not good. Tau does luckily follow up and doesn't get chased down. VP don't push through the smoke, and on this kind of round, you should be pushing smokes. You should be at least trying to trade because they're not very grouped. They get separated into a 2-3, and as a result, they don't finish off that initial kill. They may be able to start one off here.
Well, they've kind of swapped out. Tau's no longer the aggressor here. Well, I say that, and as I do, he pushes forward for a third kill. But yeah, Ferlin and Tau just kind of switching up their positions pretty efficiently to find more frags.
I mean, that's what else do you need? That's perfect.
Yeah, that really is. And this is the second time we've seen VP go towards that B bomb site, only to get completely mauled by that combo of Tau and Ferlin. Not a single life lost. I have to feel pretty good about that. Tau especially, considering he had a pretty rough game on train. He didn't really have too much of an impact. He had a couple of rounds with the off where he was able to not necessarily get kills, but just stay alive. That resulted in obviously more space for his teammates to work with, but he himself didn't actually manage to get too many kills on the board. This time around, he's sitting on 17 frags.
Wow. 12 rounds in. That's pretty insane. And now VP, they're going back for it. They want another one. Tau is going to have another bite of the bullet, but will the bullet be bitten by him? No, he bites out, finds two, but his teammate goes down in the meantime. The thing is, the Molotov's still down, thrown from Ferlin, so it delays VP's push into the B site and allows Snatchy to get into position. The flash is good, but he hits the shot. Blind to Bialy, down to 15 HP. And while that won't at least get the kill, and he doesn't know it just yet, it will make this retake certainly easier. There's a late push up through mid from Pasha to try and catch these rotates, but AGO are already on the B bomb site, as is the plant.
The question is, how long is VP going to be able to stall the retake from HGO here if Pasha's going to come into effect?
There it is. They were so ready for it. PHR checked, but Pasha wins the duel, and now Snatchy's got to be wary of his backside as well. Pasha not over-aggressing as he knows his teammates need to make contact first, and there it is. Neo does. Headshot coming through. Groovy last man up, and they know where he is because it's the only position that they don't have information on. And Neo, again, another big 3K. It seems like he needs to get 3 kills if VP win around.
Yeah, it's pretty much been the case for 2 of these. So Neo getting some much-needed frags on the board here. And just overall, fragging has been a bit of an issue for VP, as you can tell. 10 frags on me, who's sat on 8 for the longest of times. Neo, obviously, without those 2 rounds with triple kills, had 2 to his name, and Bialy, Pasha, and Snacks just all lagging a bit behind.
VP at least have a very good buy ahead of them here to try and pick up the latter 2 in this half. Pasha in mid with the AWP, he's going to walk right in. That's a good nade as well, at least on the CT side, because it blinds the vision of Snatchy. So a bit of an awkward one as Pasha catches the timing on it. And now with the man advantage, make it double. Oh my god, the MP9 fires back. Up in the apartments, he's down to 4 HP, and he's actually being hounded by Pasha, who jumped up on top of the balcony. Won't be fully chased down as VP don't want to overextend, but in the meantime, Ferlin's up through middle, dropping Mihu, an upgrading weapon. Even though PHR's low, this retake's certainly doable here for the AGO side. Utility continue to be barreled out by Pasha, and the peak can come through on the AWP. He hits the shot. Another man up on short as well, and even though PHR's low, Neo should be able to find it, and he does. At least on the Tau, Pasha's the one to finish off PHR, and VP. 4th round here, they might be able to take 5 on the half with the money of AGO in shambles.
That would have been much needed. And considering how this half has played out for the better part of it, them getting 5 rounds, they have to be happy with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, once again, Neo coming up with big frags and Pasha chiming in with 3 as well.
The player from the previous map was actually doing damage as well, Pasha.
Definitely so. We'll see, though, if they can manage to get that 5th on the board. Obviously not the greatest of buys from HGO. They're just going to go straight aggressive here. Wow. All right.
That works. There's one. Trade straight back, though, and Ferlin's going to get pressured, overwhelmed maybe on Banana. Snacks just shoots him through the smoke. Why not? That works. But VP don't want to over-aggress because they know that not only AGO are under-equipped, but they could have stacked the site.
Well, look at Snatchy, though. how cold are you going to be?
Oh no, there's 1, 2, and does he know the third's up there? No, he checks down bottom mid. Doesn't matter. He's just found 2 for the price of 1.
Yeah, it did significant damage onto Pasha as well. So health-wise, this is in the advantage of HGO, but obviously they have no real idea of what's going on. VP split up significantly here. Bombs all the way up in apps on Mihu. Pasha is still waiting for someone to rotate around from Banana.
If Pasha can throw his nades up to B, it might actually force a rotate because they have no information here, and that's when the bomb can come out of apartments as well.
Oh, question is though, is he going to walk up with his back towards Groovy here?
Nope.
Oh, still doesn't matter, and that's going to prompt Mihu to run out, and he's going to get caught up by for our PHR. So that 5th round that was looking so likely just completely falls apart.
And all because of, was it Snatchy in middle with the 5-7?
Double CZ. No, it was a CZ, wasn't it?
No, he had a 5-7.
Was it 5-7?
2 kills, yeah. Pretty sure.
They very well could have been. Regardless, just very well played, allowing 3 players to kind of walk past him. Snatches, well, okay, no pun intended. Snatchy snatches 2 VP players, and then does, again, a lot of damage onto Pasha. But, oof.
That is a horrible round to lose if you are VP, especially considering how they slowed it down. They seemed like they regained control after that initial fight on Banana. You know, they lost a player, traded it straight back.
Yeah.
Didn't run into the stack that could have been there, but wasn't.
Yeah,
and,
no.
that's the right play to make.
Exactly, yeah. Things were looking okay. But it's just I guess the matter of the fact that they didn't have anyone covering off second mid. Just unfortunate because they were starting to kind of get into the game things they were having. You know, got 2 rounds in a row. Could have closed out the first half in a positive manner, and maybe brought that into the second one. You know, picking up a pistol all of a sudden, just 10-8, and you can feel pretty good about the situation you find yourselves in.
Oh, AGO, pistol round strat. They've thrown 2 nades towards the top of Banana, and they're going to do the same with the smokes. 3 players here for VP, but 1 is going to be cordoned off by that utility. So it's just Mihu and Snacks to do the damage. Great flashbangs here. It's blinding everyone on the T side, but will the shots come back in a response? Mihu is so low, but it won't matter because kills are coming through for VP. There's only 1 player left up. And out of absolutely nowhere, VP have slam dunked AGO on the second pistol round, leaving just Snatchy.
You say just Snatchy, but been able to work some miracles before. Not going to be the case, though. Bialy takes him out with the ZZ. Oh, much needed pistol round at least, that's for sure. Virtus.pro, even though it might not take them to 8, will still get a chance to work their way a bit closer and close the gap here. But again, it comes down to these weapon rounds. That's when it really matters.
Still a lot of SMGs here as well. So have to be very careful. There's a mixed buy comes through for AGO. We've got Deagles, PT50s, and CZs. I've never seen so much diversity in a pistol force. It's always CZs.
Only 2 CZs. That means they're doing it wrong.
Yeah. Bad decision, Homo.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't seem like they're willing to commit just immediately. Bombs dropped still in spawn. Tao's going to take the peek. He's going to get punished for it as well. And up next to bat is Snatchy. He's not going to have too much more luck with that either. But yeah, 4 flashes. Assuming they're just going to batter the bomb site with flashes and hope that they can find someone getting caught out. But VP, very passive approach here. You can tell how passive Pasha is, not willing to actually take any sort of close range engagements with the pistols, which is smart. No need to do it either.
Although this kind of angle with an MP9, not really the best for him, considering they have Deagles. And AGO just bait out a lot of utility on A, just going to run back to B. The smoke has been placed, though. You can see they held their flashes. This was clearly the late game plan for AGO after that early contact.
Well, it's going to be hard to get onto the bomb site, though. You can see there's already a rotation coming in from Pasha as well. So there's going to be 3 people defending, and no smokes on the side of HGO either. So it's going to be a bit of a shooting gallery. And away we go. Snacks and Mihu combined for, well, all 5. And there you have it. Nice and easy.
As quick as you like.
Yeah. So apparently B ecos, not the way to go. So for this game, just netted a total of 0 kills.
Eco's not the way to go, to be honest.
I probably should have money all the time. That would be nice. It's going to be another one for HGO at that. See if they do a similar thing as what we saw on train with the train through alley.
Yeah.
Maybe another Mihu ace.
Yeah. Oh, not Banana this time. Actually very split. Up second mid.
Rounds like this are all, like, in addition to obviously just being a bit of a throwaway, it's a good opportunity to kind of talk things through as to what you want to do in your first buy round and whatnot. So if you slow the tempo down, you kind of just prepare for what's about to come, because obviously the likelihood of you doing anything of significance with Glocks only is not that high.
And like, if you really want to look at the finer details, the longer this round is for AGO, as painful as that does seem, the more utility VP are going to waste, the more rebuys that have to come through. And yeah, while it's only maybe $1,000 a player, they can come back. Yeah, they can come back to haunt you, especially if you do it, 2-3 ecos, you waste $3 grand, that's a rifle all of a sudden.
Yep.
Can make the difference between a buy and an eco later in the game for VP. So it's worth every penny.
Definitely is. Oh, Neo has managed to bolster his economy, at least for now, with the kill. Cautious spots out 2 players as well. Just going to fall back. Just constantly staggering the pushes. Flash comes out, re-engages, finds, well, only 1, but still, this significant damage once more.
Oh, wow.
That UMP spray.
There we go.
Better ring around the rosy, but Snacks eventually finds his target. But yeah, 2 kills. Could have definitely been worse for HGO, considering they can, well, they missed absolutely nothing. Well, I guess Snatchy had a P250, but $300, you can live with that.
Yeah, certainly worth it. The buy will come through now anyway, so AGO's chance to... Oh, they're not in the same spot as VP were in the previous map, but with a significant lead and a chance to really run away with this game and maybe close it out.
Yep, definitely so. I mean, if they win this, again, the economy on VP is a bit all over the place, so could very well see a forced buy if they were to lose this one. But yeah, no, there's definitely an opportunity for HGO to get quite close to match point very quickly.
And VP have just straight up brought in the double orb.
Yeah.
First buy, straight into the double, and AGO with nothing to counter that so far.
I mean, I can see why Snacks would go to it. He's been playing well with it so far. He did a wonderful job on training, even though it didn't amount to a victory in the end of it, but you can definitely see why he wants to go towards that, and Posh obviously should have it in his hands. So it remains to be seen what can actually be done with it. For now, though, no real committal on the side of HGO by any means. Got PHR picking up the bomb. As they try to move their way up mid, not really any gaps to be had. Smoke comes down, and they'll just have to sit down and wait. Oh, Bialy, though, is going to get aggressive in abs. He's going to find Tao. This is a nice little find. They've also rotated 1 player over towards the B bomb side, so we've got a 3-man defense here, but the majority of HGO, they're on that A bomb side, and they're going to find Pasha as well on Arts. That leaves Bialy all by his lonesome in pit. He's got a momentous task ahead of him.
He does have utility, but maybe not wanting to give away his position here, because AGO is still checking the site, still being thorough. Molotov into the mini pit, but there's the peek from Bialy. 1 frag found. He's going to be peeked from the top side of Grave. He needs to be aware of that now as the push comes through, and Furlong will get the running shot. 3-on-3 now in the post plant. No utility really for either team. Mihu's got incendiary, but that is it.
Not the optimal plant, though, for the after plant positions that PHR and Groovy has.
Oh, goodbye. Headshot in, and all 3 players retaking from long. AGO wasting time checking spots that don't need to be checked, and they're going to realize that pretty soon. Contact being made, and there's the peek from Neo. He can just jump on the bomb, like you said. Not an optimal afterplant, and he's got to run through the molly to stop it, but they actually find the kills, and suddenly AGO win it in a 2-on-3. VP looked like they had the round.
They really did. Groovy just manning up there, standing in fire in order to actually down Neo. It was really significant. That allows for Fur not... You know, it puts Fur in a position where he doesn't have to commit to actually taking down Neo and from defusing and leaving him open to the last VP player. But yeah, that could have very easily gone wrong for HGO, but they fight back, and that, well, means that we find Virtus.pro in a pretty terrible situation. They're going to have to eco. Mihu is sitting at 5.9, but Neo's down to 650.
Yeesh.
Yeesh indeed. So 13 rounds looking very likely for HGO before we see a buy coming in from Virtus.pro.
Snacks.
Oh, the shot through.
Oh, there it is. Wallbang. Goodbye. 30 HP. You'll have to reposition off of that. Does not want to get walled again.
It's going to be a gift wrap nade.
Oh. how does he survive that? They heard the tag as well. I like that the nade makes a bit of noise, so Furlong shoots and gets a free kill out off the back of it. Now a second man having rotated towards B, but they're still split 1 by 1. And Mihu's behind the sandbags. Things are about to get dirty here on Banana, and there's the peak for Mihu. 2 kills on the P250. Trade right back, though. But that's a big danger, because he's even found the dink to PHR to make things a little worse.
That was a lot of damage off of one flashbang from Bialdi there. Very well done by Mihu. Snatchy in a bit of an unfortunate position, being so close up with the op, so can't necessarily unscope or anything like that, just because the wave about his sights. But Tao, forward positioning there on that A-bomb site, finds Bialy. Probably know there's more people around. Pasha gets taken out as well, so bomb site in control over the HGO, and valiant effort from VP, but it doesn't really amount to a whole lot in the end of it.
Yeah, I like the instant rotations from AGO again. Very quick decision making. They get the kill back on Banana, they throw the guns out the map, and boom, they are already on the A site before VP can even stop them. It's a nice rotation there, but now we have the buy from VP. This is where things get interesting once again. The UMP, the double AWP, in fact.
Oof. Yeah, this is the full-on committal. This is pretty much the do or die. The Hail Mary from Virtus.pro. If they lose this, then that's going to mean HGO pretty much have a free path to match point. So now we need to see some impact from the obs. We didn't get to see them in the first go-around. New day, new dawn.
I'm just so surprised VP are playing so passive with all this utility, right? You can easily take Banana control. You can push up, even like throw a smoke down mid, take second mid, for example. But VP are giving so much breathing room to AGO. And look at Towel. Look at how far he is. They're finally going to spot him, and he needs to be aware of balcony. But while he goes down, still the fact that he can get up there without VP having any idea is still pretty scary.
Yeah, this is like, well, I guess a bit of a lucky incident for him in that sense. The Pasha's just taking his eyes off of Arch, so that happens every now and again. But yeah, brave of Tao to just kind of run up there by himself as well. If it doesn't get caught out by, I think it was Neo who spotted him. Yeah. Initially, then that can very easily take down the entire defense for Bialy.
I mean, it might not even be needed at this point. It does help though, makes it a bit easier, catches one man, doesn't even go in for more, doesn't overextend. There's still PHR in middle, who actually trades back despite Bialy's reposition, which was quite clever to be fair. Still AGO in a 2-on-4 now, looking back towards this A site, and yeah, this is the full rotate from VP. They are fully aware of what's about to unfold here on this bomb site. Neo waiting for them to give away their positions, and there it is, 1 kill and a second. Again, 3 kills from Neo. I mean, Neo and a 3K, name a more iconic duo at this point.
It's really been the name of the game for VP so far. Massive reason as to why they've even made it to 8, which doesn't sound like too big of an accomplishment, but considering where they would be without it, it is a pretty big deal.
It's the follow-up rounds that come off of it, right? The anti-ecos. However, it won't be one for now, because AGO still have money to buy up even after that win from VP. Well, not the best money in the world, because they are going to be put down to pistols after this. Does Snatchy have an AWP there is my question.
If not an AWP, does he have an AK?
No.
No, it's going to be a P250 armor.
Yeah, so some limitations here, but it's a buy nonetheless for AGO.
Yeah, do have a little bit of utility as well. 1 Molotov, which is obviously not optimal. I'd like to see more, but they have 3 smokes. So they could set up for any sort of execute they would have liked. Just have to be more aware of certain angles that they're not going to be able to burn out.
Let's have a look. VP, what is this? 4 players up in B. They are very expectant of a B rush this round, and they throw down the utility, but no one's there for AGO.
That was very, very aggressive.
Surprised they didn't push with that. With all those players there, you'd think they want to take some map control once they realize it's not a rush.
I guess once they realize it's not a rush toward, they only realize it's not a rush towards B though. That's the issue, right? Like they could be on the very edge of entering that A bomb site. And obviously, being a sole defender on A, not the easiest task in the world. So they go back to a bit more of a default setup, and they do have Snacks posting up on an angle. A bit too slow on the trigger there. It's going to allow them to stream on in, and Miku, well, was ready to greet them, but Snacks started to steal away kills. Finally gets into the three of things. That leaves 2 HGO players with not a whole lot of hope.
This has been melted like an eco for AGO. They haven't even got close to doing damage here. Still Snatch sits aggressively, and I'm surprised they haven't worked it out just yet because he's shooting blindly through the smoke. They're scared of the flank to come through. VP aren't biting. They've just held on to the top and middle. That's where the orb sits here for Pasha. Tao going to peek into it. Groovy going back in for another fight as well, but Pasha not that keen.
I'm playing it smart.
Yeah.
Like to see that. HGO, what did they do? They have 20 seconds left. Bomb's just kind of tucked his way into Vietnam. He's going to move out and actually finds Bialy. First one to lose his patience.
Ooh.
Oh, Pasha, that could have gotten dangerous.
Yeah, Groovy's just trying to hunt him down. This is, oh no, they fully rotated off, but luckily they do get the bomb off the back of it. But Tao's on the other side of the map. Three seconds, got to save.
Yeah, just hold on to that. Actually surprised to see that they didn't actually try to attempt the plant, that he actually went for the gunfights in that scenario. It's 9 seconds left on the clock. You need 3.5 to plant. Probably better off just trying to get a Hail Mary bomb plant. Even if you die immediately after planting the bomb, you've gotten something at least in return for it.
Yeah. I think the thing is, anyway, it's an eco regardless here. It's not like they had max loss, which a bomb plant would have made a big difference to.
No, but it's still $800, right?
Oh, yeah.
And
no,
in addition to that, that also means that Tao gets a loss bonus. Instead of running out of time, not getting any money, he's going to get, you know, I guess, loss bonus for a bomb defused.
Nice nade there. Is going to tag down the HR. And Snatchy just gets shot through the gap in middle. Neo looking to dodge all these bullets here. More nades coming through. Passion doing some damage as well. Berlin does open up with the P250, but this is not a round that we expect too much of. As you can see, it's pretty clean for VP. One casualty is all that will be capable from AGO. And PHR's only got a Glock as well. So as soon as he peeks, he is dead. And there it is. VP finding double digits, not letting this game run away from them. But we need a win here from AGO, otherwise VP are going to be nipping on their heels in just a couple of rounds' time.
Oh, well, HGO, could it be their time to lose a significant lead? And VP taking us to a third map on Dust 2. Remains to be seen. Utility in place, at least for HGO, for the better part of it. No real Molotovs, though. Just one on Tao. Pasha with the aggressive setup here. He might get caught up by Bert. Gets a new haircut, at least.
Yeah. Bit of a trim. Nothing major.
Just a little off the side. That's all you need.
Well, it's quite lopsided, like only on the right, so...
Some people like, you know, the ones, I guess...
The fade, yeah.
Yeah, the fade on one side.
Okay. Got the Nike symbol tick into the side of his head, but... Yeah, it does get away alive, despite his father having different intentions. Now AGO we try and at least force VP back off of this side, but VP running a very similar setup to how AGO did on their T side, or CT side. One player passive at the coffins, that's Mihu, and 4 on A.
It becomes extremely hard to execute against, though, if you're on the T side in these kind of scenarios. Obviously, you have no information as to how many people are actually on the B bomb set, so you're going blindly towards A, for instance, and as long as VP are not giving up any kills, you're forcing HGO to really commit blindly into somewhere. And, well, instead of 4 people on A, it's going to be 4 people on B this time around, and Snacks finds the first frag on Tao, gets flashed out, but Smokes providing good cover so far. Snatching.
They're getting caught in the smoke. They're swapping position. Snatcher gets into the spawn, but they still haven't spotted the man on the boost. He's just going to dive on in. Bialy instead does the damage, 2 on the M4. And what a mess of a round there.
What a mess of a round indeed, but you know, kudos to Virtus.pro for being heads up and actually being able to read what was going on from the side of HGO. Just initially having 4 people on the A bomb side, as is tradition, I guess, for both these teams. They do like to have that solo defender on the B bomb side, but even without necessarily too much information given away, making the cheat rotation over towards B. And you can tell, like, if that's a normal defense, you know, by traditional senses, that it's just 1 to 2 people on that B bomb side, that could very easily go haywire for Virtus.pro. But with 4 players just constantly badgering the T's coming in towards pool, it's not really a whole lot HGO can do. And now they need to, first off, go for a bit of an eco, which is going to put Virtus.pro most likely up to 12 rounds, depending on how this pans out. But just put them in a bit of a stressful situation.
And what was his lead for AGO? How many rounds has this been for VP? 4?
This has been 4 rounds in a row. And even before, like, AGO has only gotten 2 rounds on the T side.
That's a great start. But it's only pistols here, so it should be another one for VP. Looking to claw us to dust too. Frankly, I would like that very much.
It's definitely welcome.
Utility up and the push through the smoke here from AGO. They're going to wrap on back rounds for long. There's 2 players here. The AWP peeks up below the shot of Neo, who finds one himself, as well as the T's trying to eventually overrun them. They do exactly that, and the AWP's given over. Bialy's very low in the process, but he does catch a kill before he gets tagged. And that is the final peak to finish it off. 12 rounds of VP, as expected there. They lose a couple of players, but nothing casual, or not too many casualties, sorry. Here's the buy once again for the T side, but however, this is potentially one of their last buys if they don't win it.
Yeah, it's absolutely the case, and you know, disregard or like unless they get a couple of bomb plants in there, right? That's pretty much what would keep them afloat. But they do have max loss bonus. But that's not really, the money isn't the thing that worries me for HGO right now. It's the fact that they've been completely stumped. They haven't really had any sort of close rounds in quite some time. As VP has definitely shored up their defense, and Miyu's extremely aggressive here in Banana. He's taking a lot of damage for it, but might also be a bit of a surprise to HGO.
Yeah, we've not actually seen any deep banana control from VP this entire half.
Yeah.
This is probably, I think, the first time.
We saw quite a bit from HGO as well, so...
Yeah.
Well, I guess we were excited to see the prospect of aggressive play from VP and Banana, but they're going to fall off. Mihu rotates over towards that A bomb side, and it becomes the same thing as we've seen over and over again from VP. But again, HGO haven't really found an answer to this. They're running into the same wall, but that's definitely going to be helpful. Mihu goes down through the smoke. Oh, Neo
wow.
gets caught looking the wrong direction. And,
Oh
well, Bosch is missing shots as well. That leaves Bialy all alone on A. He's got to find people. Tries to isolate PHR, but doesn't win out the duel. That means Snacks with an AWP has to do it. Here's just 4 players. Probably not going to be the case. Better off saving, even though VP does have a fair bit of cash. Snacks sitting on 8.1 as of right now, but as you can see, Mihu down to 1900. So they're again, VP are doing the smart thing here by trying to hold on to it, playing long term. I'm actually kind of surprised by the fact that Snacks is moving even closer here.
Yeah, I think he just knows if he takes like 1 or 2 players away here, it can limit the economy, and eventually if VP find this reset, AGO will be struggling to buy, whereas if they keep 4 alive and then VP win around, we're still going to have a buy, and a good buy at that for AGO, so very important that they take guns away, but Snacks is unable to do so. Was Yorp saved there for AGO? They're going to forfeit it. No, they do have it. Okay, so... Yeah, this is rare. We've not seen too much AWPing on the T side from Snatchy, but considering how much impact he had on Train, I'd definitely say it's a welcome decision.
Yeah, no, especially because he hasn't had the greatest T side, so to speak. Like, he was doing really well for himself to start off the game. Obviously, he was sitting at 10-0, now he's sitting at 18-17. And it really started just going more and more downhill towards the second half. Obviously, very different to play T side often compared to CT. But yeah, maybe this gets him back into the groove thing, because he's been mainly going around with an AK. Out, just waiting for someone to poke their head up in the stairwell. Not going to happen, though. This time around, though, only 3-man setup over towards A.
VP firing off some flashbangs, keeping AGO back, and that will certainly help Bialy. Aggressive in the apartments does drop Tao, who was alone, so now with no trade in, AGO or a man down, they've got to try and isolate someone, something. Get a pick back into this. Although Pasha's making it easier said than done, he's posted up on long. Great position to get a one-shot fall off, and he's going to miss it, but he does fall off. No trade in sight. Keeping this man advantage strong here for VP as another man even rotates into position. Flash is really good as well, but Flash still can't find the shot because he's been smoked off in the library. Now they can begin to wrap, but look at Neo. He's pushed all the way behind. While he may not be able to get a kill, Bialy's just delaying the push back in, and finally Neo strikes as well. Almost a team kill, but Bialy dropping Furlan, and that is a flawless round for VP. That is exactly what they wanted. And now we have this awkward money situation for AGO where because they kept 4 alive in that previous round, they can buy.
But this is where he's... Ooh. Okay. This actually surprises me, because they've been struggling for a significant amount of time to get much done with... Like, it hasn't been down to the fact that they haven't had the weaponry to win out rounds. It's just that they haven't been able to put their utility to good enough use in these kind of situations. So I'm actually surprised they did not go for another eco, but you just get AKs on everyone.
I want to see more B pressure for AGO. They've really, it's the same as trade, right? But they just ran up into A and it worked so well. But the difference is here is not working well at all. We need to see B play now as VP are starting in these last few rounds to get back into control of things. And if AGO just at least took banana control, at least as a fake to keep VP honest, because we've seen constant 4-man stacks on this A site because VP just had a really good read of what's going on.
Yeah. Great nade onto Snatchy as well. VP are, they're sticking to the recipe for success here, playing passively.
And here's that quad A stack.
This is a bit of a new approach from HGO, though. Heavy presence in apps.
Yeah, in the smoke as well. They dive out through, not into the pit, because that's where Bialy sits, but they have found the entry from PHR. Pasha defending from the site with a shot on the AWP. Does he realize there's a man in the pit? They've dropped in. Groovy with a double on the CZ, and they've even got a man, Snatchy, to catch these rotates, both of which are coming through the spawn. Mid is no longer a worry for AGO, although they're not aware of that just yet. As Mihu shows his face, he now has made an opportunity for VP, a 2-on-2. The flash goes high and Groovy peeks out from below and he does take that kill, leaving just the AWP of Snacks. This could be the reset to find map and match point for AGO onto the economy of VP. What a worse time to have it come through as well. Snacks does find the kill with the USP. Now problems arise and Groovy, he's going to need this 4th kill to keep the game going, to keep it in their favor. Snacks looks away and that's the timing for Groovy. AGO finally take 15. And although it was a bit of a comeback for VP, look at their money. Oof. That is a horrible moment to get reset.
That is the worst of moments to get reset. Mihu, the only one who could really afford a proper buy together with Neo. Outside of that, it's looking like, well, MP9s or ZZs to really try to get you to the finish line. And even that, like, let's say there's a world where Virtus.pro wins this and bring it to 15-14, get the chance to fight for overtime once again. If they lose more than 3 players, they're not going to have a especially good buy going into the final round either. Obviously, HGO, they're going to be, limited themselves, but I mean, I'll take that if I'm HGO as well. Like, you have golden opportunities here to really close out this game in so many ways, and well, it's reflected by the purchase here. You got the Alligator coming back out, making a reappearance on Snacks. Did make a lot of work happen with it on Train, actually.
Yeah.
Neo with the Mag 7 and ZZ on Bialy. Not a whole lot of utility, so if we're seeing a bit of a slow play from HGO, this could dry them out really, really quick.
I do like the buy, though. A lot of versatility to it, and again, something to catch people off in terms of shot. Bialy tries to catch Tao off, but completely misses. Snacks, 5 HP, but he's still going to go for it. Good flashbang, but it doesn't blind the close player, so Furlan can do the damage. Snatchy cleans up the kill. And AGO, just how you like it, 2-man advantage to start off the round. No threat from VP, who are just going to gamble it. Look at this rotation. I like this from VP. It's very risky, but again, at 15-13, when you're 2 men down, you have weak weapons anyway.
Nothing to lose.
Yeah, all in.
And I mean, if Pasha gets the first pick here on somebody popping up the angle, it could be all they need.
Oh, but the trade came through in the same time. Tao got another kill in the apartment. So yes, Pasha may have relieved some of the pressure, but they can just burst out apps at this point. Even with 2 players here for VP, I'm surprised AGO don't just walk to B. And VP expect them to. So again, they fully rotate off of the site. Furlan's even going to hear these footsteps. So that only reaffirms the fact that they need to hit A. And Furlan, spotted by Pasha, is just misinformation here for VP here. And they don't know it. Shot missed from Pasha. Furlan goes back in for the peak. And this may be done. This may be dusted. But Mihu's got 3 more kills to find.
Oh, that was so well done by Furlan. Instead of re-engaging on Pasha, just immediately after seeing the peek in from pool, just steps back for a little while, draws Pasha further away, and eventually pounces, and Mihu Molotovs out in library, has 3 people to find, doesn't have a defuse kit either. Seems like a bit of an impossible task.
Well, he's in the site.
And he's out of the game.
And he's out of the game. Snatchy with a headshot and AGO with a 2-0 victory. Definitely deserving of that one. They look fantastic. in the best of 3 series overall. And VP, I mean, now it really hurts losing that, 14-6 lead on Train, because they've just lost 2-0.
Yeah, no, that should have been their game, right? Like, we talked about it as it was happening. We were joking about, like, oh, well, what if? And then it actually came to fruition as well. But you have to give credit to AGO for being able to stay in that game on Train. Many teams probably would have kind of been deflated and given up on themselves, not giving themselves a realistic chance of getting back into it.
Well, there's the vice versa, right? VP with a big lead on Train and AGO pull it back. And then the opposite, AGO with a big lead here. VP try and pull it back, and AGO just go, nope. And they shut it down before it even gets to OT. So,
well, you say that before it gets to OT. It got pretty close.
Oh, yeah, no, it gets close, but they still won the game at the end of the day.
That is true.
You know, that's the difference, right? VP not able to do that. They go 0-2 in their first best of 3 here in StarSeries, and they will join, again, some more teams down in the lower, I guess, round of the next matchup.
Yeah, the 0-1 matchups.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely so. And, I mean, right now we have Vici Gaming sitting there, Energy, and I think Navi versus Tyler is still ongoing. I think it's still ongoing.
Oh, okay.
But we do know that Tyler were up 1-0 in maps.
And 6-1 on the second map.
Yeah.
We're way behind, though. That might even be over that second map. So
that could be.
Definitely go check out the mainstream as well. That game's probably still underway. I'm not too sure. But, yeah, that's a pretty sick win from AGO. Obviously not cementing their the best team in Poland, but certainly proving that they could give VP a very good run for their money. And you know, that victory only reaffirms that they definitely have what it takes to be, you know, have that crown if they don't already have that crown. Yeah,
no, I would probably lean towards them having the crown. And it's going to be interesting to see how they do, obviously outside of playing, you know, domestic rivals as well. You know, maybe they only win they get throughout this tournament is versus VP, and VP somehow goes on to, you know, going 3-1 or 3-2 and making the playoffs, while HGO goes 1-3 and goes home.
Yeah, you never know. It could just be the kryptonite, right?
Exactly. Especially with like when teams from the same nation play against each other, there's so much familiarity. You always get a bit weird of a gameplay. Like, well, yeah, it's weird gameplay. Teams just know each other's tendencies so much. So always a bit of a caveat or asterisk to that.
Yeah. Well, we do have an interview either way with a player from AGO, so let's head down to Parlor.
That is absolutely right. Hugo, I'm here with Toi from AGO. Congratulations, you did it in 2 maps.
Yeah, thank you. I'm speechless right now because it's a very important win for us. I mean, we start very well, and yeah, 1-0 is a good start.
What were the most important facets to your team's victory? In that first map and throughout the series, it seemed like Snatchy had a huge impact.
Yeah, I mean, his entries were very good on Train, and we managed to come back from very tight score. Like, I mean, not tight, it was 6-14, but we managed to close the game after an overtime, which is very good because against experienced teams, it's kind of hard in the overtimes. But we know we should close it out because they won 2 pistols. So we were very confident coming into overtime, and Snatchy went really ham.
Did you have specific setups prepared for VP?
Just a few, maybe. I'm not sure if we used it because there is only a coach telling us some stuff. But for sure they said something against me on Inferno, and Bayali killed me a couple of times behind, and I was very pissed off. But beside that, it's yeah, we were prepared and we knew what they're gonna do.
Overall, we're still very early on in the tournament, but today, to prove that in this moment you're the best Polish team there is, what does it mean to you and your guys?
I mean, for the longest time, it was few years that we are looking to them, to the VP, and right now beating them means like a lot. But still, it's, we are on the tournament, we cannot think about it. We have to go on and we have to look forward.
And looking forward, what do you see next? So you're going to go back to the hotel today, relax, prepare, and get prepared for tomorrow. Tell me about that.
We're gonna just chill out for a bit, and then we're gonna think about our opponent. We're gonna see the draws and just prepare like we normally do.
Yeah, and you know, after that victory today, I mean, we spoke about it earlier, that where you see yourself ending up in this tournament. Do you have more confidence? Have you recalculated anything?
I mean, still we are improving, and we wanna beat the top tier teams, but we're gonna see if it's gonna happen. Right now we are improving and we wanna see what's gonna happen. I mean, we want to win, but we'll see.
Any specific teams that you would like to face off against and beat?
Probably SK, maybe, because they show us a lot of good stuff. We kind of learn from them. and now we can maybe play against them, maybe win. That would be awesome.
Awesome. Well, if you'd like to say anything to everybody watching at home.
Thank you for cheering for us, and yeah, we're gonna see how far we can go in the tournament. Cheer for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Tor. And we'll head back now to Vendetta and Hugo.
Thanks very much, Pal. And nice to see how he actually got the handshake this time. That was good. Right, a bit of a change.
Practice makes perfect, right?
There we go. And, I mean, it's his second interview with him, so at this point, they're best friends.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Either way, good win from AGO. Nice to see them start off well. And as Toa said, you know, like just to get prepared, you know, to stay in the tournament, not let this win overwhelm them or let them get too hyped up. You know, they've still got to stay grounded. It's not like they're, you know, one of the best teams in this event. They're still pretty big underdogs. So to get that 1-0 win, hey, you never know. They may even face off against SK.
Yeah, it could very well be. But again, you know, for AGO, it's a nice step in the right direction, right? Like if you want to take over the world, you have to kind of, you know, defeat all your opponents within the borders first. So this is one step of getting closer to their end goal in that sense.
Yeah, well, that is us done so far on the B stream for today. We do have 2 more matches, at least on this stream, brought to you by Harry and Tom. So be sure to stick around and we'll have those games coming up for you guys very shortly. Next up is Gambit up against Avantgarde.